name is Jonathan Bresler. I'm 30 years old. I'm a portfolio manager for a hedge fund. Growing up, I was athletic. When I entered college, I was a part of the rugby team. I met Sarah towards the end of the fourth year of college at Emory University in Atlanta. We were set up as a blind date, had a relationship that blossomed from there.
We got married in my parents' backyard, July of 2015.
I enjoy traveling, cooking, hanging out with my wife, playing with my dog, Ollie.
Ollie is like our child.
One of my favorite activities is walking her and enjoying the outdoors with Ollie. Sarah and I traveled extensively. We were in the Caribbean with 4 of our best friends, and about a week and a half later, I was in the hospital.
As we were walking back from dinner that night, I noticed that John had trouble clearing the step into the front door of our house. By training, I'm a nurse. I thought there's definitely something neurologically wrong.
She said, "Get in the car, we're going to the hospital." They immediately ordered an MRI.
One of my close friends who happened to be on call that night was the one who delivered the news to us.
He said, "I have some bad news."
There was a tumor in his spinal cord.
I was diagnosed with a cavernous malformation in my thoracic spinal cord.
I was terrified.
My spinal cord was too damaged from the bleed to operate.
Many neurosurgeons thought that the surgery would be riskier than the potential of a rebleed.
They essentially wanted me to wait and see. I now knew that I had this mass inside me that could essentially end my life as I know it, and it's just sitting there. Some recommended under no circumstance should I operate, given the difficulty of accessing the lesion. I met with 6 or 7 neurosurgeons across the country, and most of them told me that I would be living with this for the rest of my life and I should just adapt and adjust. I never knew if I would regain enough balance to even walk independently. I began having more symptoms. I lost feeling in the lower part of my body. I was essentially paralyzed. I was fully confined to a wheelchair at that point. The fear of being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life was very real. Once they told me I had a secondary bleed, it took any uncertainty of surgery off the table. It was a necessity at this point. In January of 2017, we went up to NYU and I met Dr. Frempong, who had a much different opinion. Immediately after looking at my scans and talking to me for a few minutes, he said, "You absolutely have to take this out, and I've got a plan to do it." He could operate with the use of surgical theater and have a lot more precision.
We're going to be walking you through your case in virtual reality.
An approach that was much cleaner, much quicker.
Your surgeon was able to plan the least invasive approach coming from the back.
He was able to point out the path he would take.
If you turn to your right, you'll see the cavernoma.
He would be doing a number of mock surgeries using virtual reality to triangulate the best path.
And so this is the safest pathway that your surgeon will take to successfully resect the cavernoma.
I've never seen it with this much detail. It's so much better than just looking at an MRI. Once he showed me power of surgical theater and explained how much detail he would have and how much practice he could have prior to my operation, I had tremendous amount of confidence that it would be successful. During the operation, surgical theater was utilized to give the team a live view of what they were looking at and allowed them to adapt if needed, and the outcome was amazing. Going into surgery, I couldn't feel either foot, and immediately after waking up, I could feel my right foot again. It was one of the best feelings of my life. After my surgery, there were a lot of tears.
It was more than I ever could have hoped for. I never expected him to be out of bed the day after a 9-hour surgery on his spinal cord.
It's been about 9 months since the surgery. My life has improved dramatically. I can walk. I'm back in the gym. I'm back to work full-time, traveling. In October, I did the Baltimore Running Festival 5K in a faster time than the year before. I'm able to walk Ollie. I still am slightly in awe. I'm eternally grateful to surgical theater for making that a reality.
Every day when I see Jonathan walk, I want to thank the entire surgical theater team for giving us the opportunity to live the life that we had dreamt.